still slightly in disbelief, but it finally runs. The Evo 8 finally runs. So I went ahead, had Elijah do the head gasket on. So fresh head gasket on there. The compression in cylinder 3 came way up. He sent me pictures, I guess, of the whole process. Obviously, I know how to replace that gasket, but he sent me pictures of the entire process, basically, and after he did the compression check as well. Compression was great, but there are still some things that need to be worked out. But at the end of the day, I'm just happy that the car actually runs. So as I was driving it, the idle fluctuates, goes up and down. So both him and the tuner, who is Chag, they both think that it's probably the idle air control valve. I'm gonna try to go ahead and remove it, get some carb cleaner and spray it off and see if I can clean it that way and see if that fixes the issue. If not, it's just gonna have to be replaced, which a brand new one, I guess a brand new OEM one, is like 400 bucks, which is crazy. But apparently Chag won't tune it with an aftermarket idle air control valve on there. So it sits right below the throttle body over there. I think there's like 3 screws that hold it on. So I'm gonna go ahead and remove that and try to clean that up a bit. But aside from that, it's gonna be a pretty like a light day for me in the car, I guess, because I'm not gonna do a whole bunch, even though there's a whole bunch that I want to do to it. But I'm just gonna start by doing that, what I mentioned, cleaning up these headlights because they're trash, replacing the headlight bulbs because one of those is out, one of them, or it comes on but it's like super dim and it has HID. So also there's a front lip over there somewhere that I've had for what, like 2-3 years now. I got it when I like originally got the car, and I'm gonna throw that on there too to see how it looks. Hopefully it looks decent, hopefully it looks okay. It was only like 100 bucks off eBay or something, and maybe take it for a drive to get some gas too. So feels good to drive it. Transmission feels good, the motor felt good, aside from that whole idling thing. But yeah, I'm excited. But yeah, let's go ahead and set this camera up so that way I can at least try to fix this idle issue. Hopefully this works. If not, like I said, I'll have to just get another idle air control valve. So well, cleaning it didn't help, but I went ahead, ordered a new one. So I have to wait for that to get here, and hopefully that fixes the idle issue. Now, the throttle body at some point is gonna have to be replaced because the screw that you set the idle with, as far as how high or how low you want it to be, is like seized. And I guess you could try to drill it out, but that sounds like a horrible idea. I'm just gonna replace the whole throttle body at some point. So for now, we're just gonna go ahead and try to clean up these headlights because they're pretty bad. All right, headlights are all messed off. Make sure you clean them first before you apply the tape, so that way you don't have to redo it. This is the kit I'm using. One of the kits I've used in the past. I've used this one in Mother's, and this one seems to work the best. So I'm gonna use that. It's got steps 1, 2, and 3. Step 1 is to remove the oxidization. Step 2 is to sand it down in 2 different steps, actually. So I think it's 2,000 and then 3,000 grit. And this is the clear coating, I guess you put on at the very end. They do provide this so that way you can sand it by hand. But I'm gonna use a drill because it's just faster. actually turned out pretty good. A lot better than what it was. Still not 100% perfect, but still looks 10 times better. This headlight was actually a little worse than the passenger side was, but still should turn out pretty well when I'm all finished up. The car is dirty, but the headlights look 10 times better. Way better. The passenger side turned out a little better than the driver's side, but again, the driver's side was the worst of the two. But still, looks pretty good. I have to wait at least 60 minutes before they can get wet, so I'm not gonna wash the car yet. But I am gonna go ahead and throw that lip on. So it's got like a OEM or factory lip on it, I think it is. So I have to remove that first. And then I'll throw on that other lip that I got that's chilling over there. We got the front lip on there. Now from here, it looks not too bad, but if you get kind of low, you can see where it's not flush with the bumper, and it's because I can't get like those screws in there for whatever reason. So, Abe, if you're watching this, I'm gonna have you do it when you come to Arizona, but I, for whatever reason, can't get it. So, I hate body stuff and exhaust stuff. I hate those things. But overall, it's way better with that lip on there as opposed to that OEM lip. So this one, I'm gonna keep on for a while, and I don't know, either I'll get this one paint matched to the car because I like the look, or I'll get a carbon one. That way I don't have to worry about paint. The last thing I want to do actually on this today is probably go ahead and replace the headlight bulb. So one of the bulbs, like I mentioned before, at least I think I mentioned before, is out, and the other one works fine. I went ahead and grabbed some already, some other HIDs off of Amazon. I'll be sure to link those in the description below. If those are actually decent, I don't know what they look like, but if the quality is good, I'll link those below. Hopefully these are the correct size. I'm guessing, I took a guess, or I did a little research, but hopefully these are the right size. Because if they're not, I'll have to wait even longer. I got some 6000K headlight bulbs, by the way, so yep, I'll link these down below. We take a few steps forward, only to take a few steps back. Now let me show you really quick what I mean. Cylinder 3, no compression. So I checked the compression on the other cylinders. The other ones were fine. They were all within range. Cylinder 3, yet again, has no compression. So basically the car had a misfire. I did process of elimination. I checked the plugs, swapped the plugs around. The misfire didn't follow that plug. I swapped the coils and I checked the injectors. And none of those really helped the issue. So I went ahead, last resort, the last thing, check compression. So now I would say we're back to square one, but the car at least will run. So that is a plus, but don't know why cylinder 3 is not showing any compression. So when Elijah had it, he did a leak down test and it didn't show that the valves were leaking. But I guess between now and then, anything could have happened and we could have an issue in the head, or there could be an issue with the rings, don't know. So as of right now, the plan is to go ahead and have Elijah check it out again, do another leak down test, and I'm like 5 seconds away from just saying, like, let's just do a full build. Let's just let's just build it. Still not discouraged as far as getting this car mobile eventually someday on the road. I got a little taste when I drove it, and although I didn't get to like beat on it or anything, it was still like nice to drive this car. And I'm looking forward to one day being able to just drive this car on the regular, you know. Does it suck? Yes. It sucks a bunch, but it is what it is. This is the game we play when we build these kind of cars. So I went back and forth for the last few days on what it is that I want to do. Maybe I should just pull the motor and do it all myself, because I'm confident in my ability to do it, but it's just a time thing. Having small children, like, it makes it a little difficult to do this all in like one go, and I'm super impatient as well, so that plays a part too. So I kind of just want to have Elijah take a look at it again. Well, that's the plan. Next week I'm gonna have him do another leak down test on it. Maybe it's just something in the head that failed and it needs to be rebuilt, or it needs a full-on rebuild. So the motor felt good. Like when I drove it home, it felt good. It felt fine aside from, again, that idling up and down, but aside from that, it felt good. Now with that being said, as far as the Evo 10 goes, so here's my plan with the Evo 10. So if you watched my last video, I talked about what it is that's preventing this motor from rotating, or what prevented this motor from rotating. The trigger wheel bolts or whatever backed out, and that's what prevented the rotating assembly from rotating. I still haven't taken the crank all the way out to inspect it, but as long as this is good, as long as everything looks okay, like the bearings look good. I ran my finger across the bearings. The bearings look good. I'm just gonna go ahead and clean this up really well and then reassemble it. The motor itself has less than like 20,000 miles on it, so it's still fairly new. And again, pistons look good, bearing surfaces look good. I just gotta inspect that general area where the bolts make contact with the inside of the block to make sure that there's no like major cracks or anything like that. Because if that's the case, if it's good, then again, I'm just gonna reassemble this. Next week, I'm probably gonna go ahead and order the parts I need for the head for that motor, because I'm gonna replace the cams, gonna get GSC S2 cams, and then springs and retainers to go along with it. In addition to that, I'm gonna upgrade the fuel, so probably go with a 525, like the Hellcat fuel pump, and probably some 1700 cc injectors, 1700s, or I may go a little bit bigger than that, so that way it's just like a one and done thing. But yeah, series again of unfortunate events, but that's where we are. That's where we are with both the cars. I'm curious to know what you guys think the issue is with the Evo 8. I may try to do like an update video next week on where we are, or what I find out about the Evo 8. But I appreciate the support from you guys and keeping up with the build and everything. But definitely one day soon, both the cars will in fact run. So again, let me know in the comments what you guys think the issue is with the Evo 8. Thank you for checking out the video though. Subscribe if you have not already. Give this video a thumbs up, and I'll see you guys in the next one.